I serve as the Vice President for External Operations and Dean of Tarleton State Fort Worth. And I'm based in Fort Worth, but have the opportunity to serve really all of our outreach sites across the university. So our locations and campuses in Fort Worth, Waco, Bryan, Tarleton State Online, Extended Education, Workforce Development. My husband Carlo and I were actually able to do this together, which was such a treat. We just so enjoyed it. And for someone like him who's been born and raised in Fort Worth, we've been here, together, married for more than a decade, but we both, our undergraduate experiences were here. We feel committed and really proud to be in Fort Worth, Texas. And so I think we didn't really know what to expect going into it,
Yeah.
right? And I think many people say that for those that have already been here, but because we were new to our positions, it was such an opportunity for connection and collaboration. And genuinely, there's a handful of colleagues, individuals that I met really through Leader Prime that I've called on and I've said, what do you think about this? Or is there a potential partnership opportunity for this? And with that have been met with just optimism, uh, support, and I do sincerely believe it was because of our Leader Prime experience. And so it's just a really fond memory, and we just enjoyed learning more about this city from a different lens. It was really a brilliant way to connect
Yeah.
individuals, right? And if no matter what sector industry you represented. There is something really powerful about stepping away into a space where you can reflect, you can learn, you can dig deep. I think we covered a myriad of topics that allowed us to do just that. And so eh, again, it's a lift to build something enriching from a programmatic standpoint over that amount of time, and to make it empowering and enriching for those that participate. And so I just think as you celebrate this 10 years and then even looking ahead, it's really about the people and about acknowledging, we are Leadership Fort Worth and we are Leader Prime participants. And at the end of the day, we're Fort Worthians and we care about this city and this place, and we want to do better together. And so I think one of the most impactful and meaningful moments about why that's so important, or the reasons why that's so important, is because we can come together to have hard conversations when it's needed. When we talk about healthcare, when we talk about education, when we talk about not duplicating efforts but collaborating with one another, which is actually what a lot of the Leader Prime relationships following that experience have looked like. It's how do we bring, Charles is a great example. Like, I've called on Charles to say, what does this look like from a healthcare perspective when it comes to us as a higher education institution at Tarleton State as we move into Texas A&M Fort Worth in the fall, us focusing on health sciences. What better way to say what are the needs, right? And it's an organic, genuine relationship that you build with these individuals at these tables. Leader Prime helped us do just that. And it's been, I think, the launch pad to a lot of fruitful conversations after. The phrase community trusteeship I've always loved because I think it's actually really powerful. If you think about the term trusteeship, it's from a community lens. And so, gosh, I would say live life inspired and not intimidated. It's a personal mantra of mine. And I think that just means stepping into spaces that you may be stretched and unfamiliar. Leadership is about meeting the moment and knowing that you are exactly where you should be, no matter what your experience or your sense of perspective may look like. I feel really passionately about the mission of Tarleton State with access and opportunity and affordability. And I think for organizations like Leader Prime and Leadership Fort Worth as at large, it is about opportunity. It is about connections. It is about meeting people where they are. And I just think it's always wonderful to do important work together. So onward and upward.